And that's what we constantly do, is teach to a test. And we need to put a stop to that. We need to get back to the basics and make sure our children understand what's going on and are able to retain information and not become little robots or puppets. Testing has become a huge issue, and we test our children way too many times, especially the little ones. We're averaging over 30 days of testing days, and that does not include all the hours that the teachers have to prepare the kids and prep them for the tests. Sometimes we have computer failures. Sometimes they are pulled out of classes because they are having to go to another class to test. So it interrupts our whole teaching of a whole new unit when we have those kids out of the room. So many times students are pulled out of the class for testing, and that interrupts the whole dynamics of teaching. And when that happens, we have students that are not getting the services that they need because their teacher that they get extra support from per their individual educational plan and 504s, they're being pulled out or they're not being pulled out one way or the other, and they don't have that one-on-one time with the teacher that they're supposed to get. So for example, if a child's supposed to receive 100 minutes per week from their ESE teacher, they're not getting the services. And the reason for that is the teacher might be working with students in another grade or another teaching or testing to another group of students, and so many parents aren't familiar or know enough about it that they think their kids are receiving the services when really we're not. And I see a lot of times that we're out of compliance in this issue. Opting out. Well, in the opting out portion, I believe that children should have that opportunity to opt out, and their parents should have that say as well. So if a parent wants to opt out of their child from a test, then they should have that right. There are other ways that we can evaluate a student. For example, with the Iowa testing, if they decide to opt out of the FSA testing, or we can use portfolio work that they have done throughout the year in our classroom. This past school year, there were many parents that opted out of the FSA testing, and I think the information was not given to them properly, because when the scores came back and we had kids that didn't score the score that they wanted on the FSA for passing, they received notices in third grade that their child was being retained and was not going to go on to fourth grade. Well, I can't begin to tell you how many people were upset. We should have jumped on that right away and said, let's see what the teacher says. How can an A, B student who has never had any issues with reading or any other problems or deficits with learning be retained? That doesn't make any sense. And it's not fair to those children. Well, making sure we have consistency across the schools. Making sure that we don't water down our gifted programs. There's just inconsistencies between all of our schools right now. And we need to make sure that all of our schools have what they properly need for their student population. Who better than a teacher to lobby for us and for our students? We need to lobby the legislators with everybody going up to Tallahassee, including everybody from the state, all the school board members, taking turns to go up into Tallahassee. If we had 67 school board members heading up to Tallahassee every week during the 6-week session, that's 67 faces that the legislators would see every day. And on top of that, we'll bring parents, and we'll bring teachers, and we'll bring citizens that are interested in this, and they will hear us loud and clear. And we will get rid of this FSA testing that has no business being in our classrooms. We need to get back to the basics. We need to stop putting all of our kids in a little bubble and making them fit this whole criteria where everybody thinks in the box, because we don't. Everybody thinks differently. So we need to make sure that we are meeting all students' needs and teaching the whole child and working in small groups creatively and making sure our kids are enjoying learning and they're having fun activities, hands-on activities that are implemented with all of our skills across our curriculum. This is paid for and approved by Abby Sanchez for Seminole County School Board District 3.